Have you ever received a package you didn't remember ordering, but it knew exactly what you needed? My name is Olivia. I'm 27, and 3 months ago I moved into a new build flat on the outskirts of a town called Brambleford. It wasn't my first choice, but after my breakup and a rent increase in my old place, it was what I could afford: clean, modern, and just anonymous enough to disappear into. That's what I wanted. No history, no memories, and no reminders of him. The flat itself was part of a newly built complex, 4 identical buildings arranged around a central car park. Everything smelled faintly of fresh paint and cheap laminate flooring. The kind of place where you hear your neighbors through the walls but never actually meet them. I worked from home doing admin for a logistics company, so most days it was just me, my laptop, and the quiet hum of the fridge. The first package arrived on a Wednesday. Brown box, no return address. My name printed neatly on the label. I assumed it was something I'd forgotten ordering during a late-night scroll. So I brought it inside, made a coffee, and opened it at the kitchen counter. Inside was a weighted blanket, gray, soft, expensive-looking. I frowned. I hadn't ordered it, but I had been thinking about getting one. I'd read they helped with anxiety and sleep. I'd even had it sitting in my Amazon basket for a few days before deciding it was too pricey. I checked my bank account. No charge. No email confirmation. Nothing. I told myself it must be a delivery mistake. I'd report it later. That night I used it anyway. And for the first time in weeks, I slept straight through. The second package arrived 2 days later. This time I was expecting it. Same brown box, same printed label, no sender. Inside was a set of herbal teas, specifically the exact brand I'd Googled the night before after struggling to sleep again without the blanket. My stomach tightened. That wasn't coincidence. I checked my phone, my laptop, my email, anything that could explain it. No orders, no charges, no confirmation. Just the box sitting on my counter like it belonged there. I stopped using my phone for anything personal after that. No browsing, no shopping, no searches. If someone was somehow tracking me, I wasn't going to make it easy. For 3 days, nothing arrived. I started to relax. Then, Sunday morning, there was another package. This one was smaller. Inside was a notebook, plain black cover. When I opened it, my chest went tight. The first page was filled, not printed, handwritten, in neat, careful pen. Olivia, day 18 in Brambleford. You're settling, but not as well as you pretend. You checked your phone 47 times yesterday. You still expect him to message. I dropped the notebook like it had burned me. My hands were shaking. I flipped through more pages. Every entry was about me. What I ate. When I slept. When I left the flat. What I watched. What I felt. You stood in the shower for 26 minutes last night. You cried, but quietly. You're getting better at that. I couldn't breathe. I called the police. They came within the hour. 2 officers, calm, polite, slightly skeptical. They checked the building entrance. No forced entry. They asked about exes. Anyone who might want to scare you. I shook my head. Even if he wanted to hurt me, he didn't know where I lived. They took the notebook as evidence. Advised me to install a camera. Told me to call if anything else happened. And then they left. I installed a camera that same night. Front door, living room. I didn't sleep. At 3:17 a.m., the camera picked up movement. I watched the playback the next morning. The hallway outside my flat. Empty. Then, my door handle moved. Slowly. Deliberately. Like someone testing it. It didn't open. After a few seconds, the movement stopped. But just before the camera timed out, something slid under the door. Another package. I didn't open it right away. I stared at it from across the room for nearly an hour before finally forcing myself to pick it up. Inside was a small box. Inside that, a key. My key. The exact same type used for my flat. Attached was a note. Spare copies are always useful. You should be more careful who you trust with access. I hadn't given anyone a key. No one. The police came back. This time they took it seriously. They checked building access logs, spoke to neighbors, reviewed CCTV from outside. Nothing. No one suspicious. No one entering or leaving at strange hours. It was like whoever was doing this didn't exist on camera. I stopped staying there. Slept at a friend's for a week. Nothing happened. No packages, no notes. Nothing. I started to convince myself it was tied to the flat. So I went back, packed some essentials, planned to move out properly the next day. That night I decided to check the place one last time, make sure I hadn't missed anything. That's when I noticed it. The vent above the hallway. Slightly off. Not broken. Just not sitting flush like it should. I grabbed a chair, climbed up, and pushed it open. Dust fell into my eyes as I peered inside. At first I saw nothing. Then, movement. Something shifting deeper in the darkness. I dropped down so fast I nearly fell. My heart was hammering. I grabbed my phone and turned the flashlight on, aiming it back up into the vent. Slowly, carefully, the beam caught something. Metal, wires, a small camera, pointed directly down the hallway. I ran. Didn't stop to pack. Didn't stop to think. Just grabbed my keys and left. The police tore the flat apart the next day. They found more cameras in the living room light fixture, behind the bathroom mirror, inside the smoke detector, all professionally installed. All hidden perfectly, but they didn't find the person responsible. Not at first. It turned out the building contractor had subcontracted security installations to a small independent firm. One technician. One name. Aaron Keene. He'd worked on the building during construction. Had full access. Full knowledge of every flat, every vent, every wire, every blind spot. They found his van 2 towns over. Inside it, boxes, dozens of them, each labeled with a flat number, each containing items tailored to the person living there. Food, books, clothes, personal things, and notebooks. So many notebooks, each one filled, each one documenting someone's life. Mine was labeled Flat 3, B, Olivia Carter. He was caught 2 days later, living in a rented storage unit surrounded by screens, watching, recording, writing. He told the police he wasn't stalking. He was improving lives. People don't know what they... 1,000 to CD. Neat, he said calmly. I showed them. I moved out of Brambleford that week. New town, new place, different building, different locks, everything new. But sometimes late at night, I still feel it. That quiet awareness, like I'm being watched. And last week, I came home to find a small brown box sitting just inside my door. No label, no sound of forced entry. Nothing. Inside was a single item. A new notebook, first page already written. Olivia, you shouldn't have left. We were making such good progress.